Hey dance studio owners, Hervin here with Get More Students, and in this video I am going to talk to you about free trials. Do free trials work for dance studios? Do they not? Can they help you increase enrollment? And so I speak to a lot of dance studio owners who come to me telling me that they've tried free trials in the past and it didn't help them attract the right kind of people. It didn't work for them. It ended up attracting people who would just come in, try a bunch of free classes and didn't end up signing up, or wasting their time, or people who just wanted free trials, or people who just always wanted a discount, a coupon, something for free. They came in, brought in a bunch of students, tried a bunch of free classes, didn't end up signing up. And so if that has been your experience where you feel like free trials haven't worked for you, I totally understand it. And I have been there myself. I've given away. When we used to have our own dance studio, I tried giving away a 7-day free class pass. So like a week for free, so people could come in, try as many classes as they want, and then end up signing up. And I would get the weirdest thing. Like, I would get people who would come in, they would say, hey, instead of trying, because it's a 7-day free class pass, instead of doing like 7 days this week because I can't come the entire week, can I just do like 2 classes this week, and then next week I'll do like 3 more, so that's 5, and then maybe the next 2 weeks thereafter I'll just do like 1 class a week, because that's kind of how my schedule works right now. And so I understand that the frustrations with the free trials, because sometimes you end up getting those things, people like that. And so it could definitely be daunting, and it could definitely feel like it's not going to help you attract the right kind of students. But I'm going to, on the other hand, give you a little story. So one of the best, most successful dance studio owners that we've helped, one of our best success case studies, is this studio owner who grew from 100 student enrollments to over 600 student enrollments in 5 months. She brought in 100 new students every month for 5 months, and she did it throughout times where her studio was usually slow throughout in the season. So she did it in the summer, where it's typically a slow season for her. That's when she grew the most, and we were using free trials to help her. So how come that happened? What made the difference? And why did it work for her, and why doesn't it work for some dance studios? Okay, so let's talk about it. So the first thing that I want to say is, number one, we weren't giving out like 7-day free passes. I even have spoken with one dance studio who was giving a month for free. I think that's crazy. So we were just doing 1 free class. Okay, so that's the first thing. I didn't want to set the expectation for people that they just can come in, try a million classes out, and never decide, or they have to try every single style before they make a decision on signing up. And so that's the first thing. 1 free trial class is what we have found. You don't need anything more than that. I'll tell you how to enroll. So a lot of studio owners, when I tell them this, they're like, yeah, but usually I want people to try multiple classes so that we can enroll them in multiple classes as opposed to just 1. I'll tell you how to get around that here at the end. So, but the first thing is, so we're doing 1 free trial. That's how we're starting out. Then from there, what we have to think about is, so the first thing that I want to tell you about is that, yes, whenever you're advertising free trials, you will get the freeloaders. Unfortunately, you will get the people that are not the right fit. Now, in our experience, when we advertise free trials, we usually end up getting a lot more inquiries than if we don't. So but it's a mixed amount of people. You end up getting good leads, and as well as bad leads, people who are just the wrong kind of people. And so with that said, it ends up being where a lot of studio owners are like, well, I don't want to spend my time talking to people who are not going to end up enrolling. I just want the people who want to enroll now, who just want they know they want to sign up and stay with me for years. But again, if you think about it, for a lot of people who start out dancing, they don't necessarily think that they don't necessarily think this is what I want to do for for the next 15 years. A parent doesn't put in a kid into a dance studio thinking like this is what they're going to do for the next until they're 15, you know what I mean? Or until they are 18. Like this is it. This is what they have to stick with. So for a lot of parents, in fact, they might not even know that if their kid would like dancing or not. So this is where it's beneficial to have a free trial, because you get people coming in, checking out your classes, see if their kid would like it. Now, with that said, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. With free trials, one of the most important things that you need is to have a solid follow-up process. So what does that mean? When somebody inquires about a free trial, because they don't have to put any money down, there's no skin in the game for them, which makes them more likely to no-show you, to not come into the trial, to flake, to stop responding, to ghost you. So they're much more likely to not take it seriously, to stop responding to your messages, to not come in, because they're not committed. There's no skin in the game for them. They haven't put any money down. And again, that's why a lot of studio owners are like, well, this is why I prefer either paid trials or not even offering trials, because I don't want people wasting my time. Now, this is where, for example, we come in with our service. One of the things that we do for dance studio owners is that we set up automation so that it's not them having to follow up with the inquiries. It's the automation doing it for them. This is super important, because that means that you don't have to take the time yourself to follow up with every single lead and start wasting your time on people who might not end up being a good fit in the first place. So this is where automation, having a follow-up system that can follow up immediately with people and keep following up with them and send them reminders. So like one of the things that we do with our service is that as soon as somebody inquires about your free trials, we're following up with them immediately before they're getting a chance to go somewhere else, forget about it, move on. We want to follow up with them within 1 minute. And that might sound like it's crazy. Well, this is why automation is needed, because you need an automation to follow up with anybody. I mean, the faster you can get back to people. We live in a world where people want things right away. They want instant gratification. As soon as they inquire, they're thinking about dancing. They're thinking about putting their kids to dance class. This is why having an automation system to follow up with all those new inquiries is super important. Okay, so that's number one, having a follow-up system in place to follow up with everybody. As soon as they inquire, while they still have their phone in their hands, which means they're much more likely to respond, is important. And then from there, following up with them. So the automation follows up with them if they don't respond for whatever reason, if they start to ghost you, so that you don't have to waste your time with those people and not having to pursue people that might not end up being a good fit at the end of the day. The next part is getting people to show up for their free trials. Again, this is one of the things that a lot of studio owners struggle. They're like, anytime I've offered free trials, people just don't show up. People, they tell me, like, I found that people who don't pay or do something for free, these people are not committed. They don't want to come in. They don't want to show up. Sometimes I've even questioned, like, are these even real people? And so the reason why a lot of people don't show up, obviously, it's because there's no skin in the game. If they didn't pay for anything, and if they don't show up, they don't lose anything, right? And so this is why having like a really robust follow-up process is super important. So sending people reminders to get people to show up. So one of the things that we do for the studio owners that we work with is send them the reminders the day before their trial, the morning of their trial, 1 hour before their trial, to get them to show up to the studio. If we don't do that, people are the most likely thing to happen is that they're gonna not come into the studio. They're gonna no-show you. Okay, so you don't want to leave it up to people to remember on their own to come in, especially if you're doing free trials. you want to have these reminders in place. And again, this is something that we set up for the studio owners that we work with for that specific reason. If they're offering free trials, we need to send those reminders to new students to get them to show up. And we include in, because it's automation, you don't have to remember to do it. It does it on its own. And we send the address to the studio automatically. We send what the information they need prior to coming to the class. We get them to register in your class management system prior to coming in. We send them a picture of your building so they know what to look out for. We give them instructions on where to park. So all of that information can be automated, and it can be sent by a software. So we use our software to automate all of these steps so that you don't have to do it. And that is what gets people to come in. Okay, so doing that, you'll find that a lot of people are going to start coming into your free trials. And again, it's so much easier to enroll somebody once they're at your studio than it is like hoping, like if they don't know anything about your studio and trying to get them to enroll. So we have found that to work best, so like getting people to come in at your studio, talk to them while they're there, and so on. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've seen really good success with other studio owners who don't offer free trials, but the point of this video is that free trials, we have seen them work if everything is in place, if the right systems are in place, and you have the right expectations. So like some things that we have found is that out of every 100 inquiries that you get, out of every 100 leads who inquire about a free trial, usually half of them book. Usually half of them come in, and usually half of them enroll. And so it's having this expectations that that's just how it works. It's not the fact that, those are everybody who inquires about a free trial is a bad lead or something like that. It isn't like that. It's just having the right expectations. Like not everybody that inquires, not everybody that's going to come in is going to be a quality lead. Not everybody that comes in is going to be committed to sign up with you for years. You know what I mean? And so, but there are things that you can do in order to help you. So one of the things that we have found that work really well is having a good sales process and an incentive for people to sign up the day they come into their trial. So a lot of studio owners complain that people who come in for a free trial don't end up signing up. But when I ask them about their enrollment process, their sales process, they usually tell me like, well, people take the free trial and then they leave. And I ask them, did you even ask them to sign up? No, we don't, because if they want to sign up, they'll sign up. That's not how it works. You need to have a sales process. You need to ask them to enroll. Ideally, you want to have an incentive so that you give people an incentive to sign up that day. So having something like an offer like, we'll waive your registration fee if you sign up today. We'll discount. We'll give you half of the registration fee off if you sign up today. We'll include your costumes or your shoes, or we'll include whatever. If so, you can figure out an offer that is attractive, that gets people to sign up. We've found that just waiving the registration fee is usually that right there usually is enough to get people to sign up. And for a lot of studio owners that don't even have a registration fee, we've told them, add a registration fee, and then if people sign up that day, remove it. And it's helped them make more money because some people that don't sign up that day pay the registration fee, but it also helps them enroll it gives people an incentive to sign up that day, and people take it. And so all of these things are things that you can do to make free trials work. So number one, having the right expectations. So knowing that not everybody who inquires about a free trial is going to be a quality lead. Not everybody that inquires about a free trial is going to end up signing up with you, let alone not sign up with you for years. Okay, so and that doesn't change, by the way. If you don't offer free trials, people who sign up, they still don't sign up with you for years. You're still going to have churn. That's normal. Um, but regardless, like just having the right expectations that whenever you do free trials, there's going to be people who are going to sign up. There's going to be people who are not going to be a good fit. That's normal. That's part of it. Understanding that and not being discouraged by it, because a lot of studio owners are like, well, I 3 people came in and just one signed up. Like, that's okay. That's just how that works. It's normal when you're offering free trials. The other thing too, to help you get more people to sign up, to come in for free trials, is having those reminders in place with the automations to get people to remember to show up. Also, following up with them as soon as they inquire, super important. And last, having an enrollment process in place that gives people an incentive to sign up on the day of, so that when people come in and try a free class, you give them an incentive. And the last thing I want to mention here in this video is, going back to that initial question of how do you get people to sign up for multiple classes if they just come in and try one? One of the things that we have done, that we advise dance studio owners to do when they come in and, when they have trials, when they're offering trials, is that when somebody when somebody enrolls, they take advantage of that offer, they enroll that day. One of the things that we recommend them to do is to number one, to say, hey, if you sign up for a second class today, or if you sign up for a second or a third class today, we'll waive, we'll offer you a discount for the first month, or we'll offer you a discount for tuition. So they might make tuition for that second class $20 cheaper, for the second or third class. And we have a lot of studio owners who are doing that successfully, where they get students who come in and try a class. When they're getting sold, they get offered more classes and they take them because they had a good positive experience that first day. Think about it this way, when you're shopping on Amazon and they're like, hey, by the way, do you also want this? And people, without even knowing that they wanted that, or without having even been looking for that specific thing, they end up shopping and getting secondary items. That's called an upsell. It's normal practice. It happens, you ever go to a supermarket, you end up wanting to, you came in for something, you left with a bunch of things. It's kind of like that, people, when they get in the buying mood and they sign up, they had a good experience. They saw their kid dancing, they were smiling, having fun. They're like, you know what, she seemed like she enjoyed it. Let's sign up for more classes. The other thing that you can do is offer more free trials when people sign up. So as soon as somebody signs up, they enroll for one class, you say, hey, just want to offer you a complimentary, so just as a complimentary class pass, you can try any other class that you'd like for free. You have a few that are right after. You want to come in and try those. So giving people the option to try more classes isn't bad after they sign up, because now they've at least committed to one class, and then you can offer more classes. That's when we would advise to do that, not before they sign up, because if you offer them more free classes before signing up, what's going to happen is they're going to delay making the decision to sign up until after they've tried everything. So it's gonna sound something like this, like, yeah, sure, I'm not gonna make the decision to sign up right now because I want to see if my kid enjoys, ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, acro, like all of it. We want to try everything before making a decision. And so that's not necessarily good, because who knows? Sometimes people say that and then they don't end up coming back, or they mean to, but something happens. And so we want to get people to commit that day while they're there at your studio, while they're excited, while the parent just saw their kid smiling, having fun in class with other kids. Like, that's where you want to, that's the best chance that you have at enrolling a student, is during that time. Okay, so once again, to recap, free trials do work. You just have to have the right expectations, have automation, have a sales process in place, and you'll get people to enroll using free trials. 80% of the people that are working with us are doing free trials. About 20% are not doing any trials. And both of them could work, but we have found that it's a lot easier, especially for studio owners who are just getting into marketing, who are just trying to advertise their studio, trying to enroll more students. Um, we have found that the free trials work really well. It's something easy to do. It's easy because you can get people to come in, and it's a lot easier to enroll students when they're there at your studio than it is before they've gotten to know you. Um, Typically what we have seen, the studio owners that don't offer free trials are more established, bigger studios that don't have that much space, where they cannot afford to have people come in and take up space from. They already have a lot of demand, and so they don't need as many students. They might just need to fill up like those spots, and they might also not care if they end up paying more to enroll students, because they're looking for a very specific type of students and so on. And so whereas like the free trials is more like, hey, we want to enroll as many students as possible. Okay, so yeah, they both work. Free trials definitely work. I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions, obviously leave them down below, but subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content when it comes to growing dance studio, or just marketing for local businesses, growing a dance studio in general. If you want to know more about how to grow a dance studio, check out other videos in our YouTube channel. I've posted a ton there with all sorts of help and resources and to help you increase enrollment. Again, my name is Hervin with Get More Students. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.